and some yaoi. Actually, yeah, it was me, Danganronpa. Thinking about yaoi, I was thinking of trying to find the mangas. Yaoi mangas. I know, right? I took got to college. I'm happy about that. Yeah. I still have the teddy bear intact. Everything you gave me is still intact, actually. I just left it. I just left everything in the same place I put it when I got back home. No, the cats haven't really. I put the ponies on my desk, and the cat did knock it down, but they did actually end up just like cuddling up to it. At least you're not naked. Danganronpa comes up with yaoi manga. Bloody amazing. Wait, I just put yaoi. What comes out? I could be British. I've already seen. Okay.
Shower.
I don't know.
I will. That was what?
My friend's having issues trying to find something. I'm going to help them.
Okay, just let you know, guys, I am reacting to this. Also, I will be having my microphone muted only because I'm using secondary audio. We can. Before we start, we got K in the call. Oh dear.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce her. Oh, you know me and my bloody words and the P word. Yeah. Pope. Any poker dice in this one? Oh my gosh. Oh, we don't know. So, the moment I I can't speak. The moment I mute my microphone, I will get my slate out and get secondary audio, which I've got to start.
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you said slave for a second.
Slave? I've got a slave.
Apparently you're a slave.
Okay, yeah. Okay, microphone will be turning off on the on the YouTube live. You can still hear me.
Okay. What kind of slave do you have?
Come on!
You just got no come on there, seriously, sweetie bow. Alright, mute microphone.
What kind of slave do you have, though? I don't think any AIs are virgins. I don't think they're designed as one. There's a picture here. Have you seen my status on Discord? Have you seen my status on Discord? my, Discord. My status on Discord. Custom status. Ooh, senpai. Do you have me on Spotify? I think I have a screenshot. There we go. I have a screenshot there. That had sent someone like literally. This is what. That's my Spotify. It's something I had. Oh, don't worry. I would have put it was senpai noticed me.
Oh, come on!
I have a husbander. Because the senpai's an upperclassman. Yeah, upperclassman. That's what they're called in Japan. Upperclassman, older, pretty much. Okay, give me a second. While I go through an advertisement. Love them advertisements. I go on about anything and everything, and yeah. I just talk random gibberish. Annoying. I have no clue what you're trying to talk about. I think it is. Nickelodeon. Capable of. She's capable of everything. Woo.
This is gonna be spooky.
Check behind you.
How could you do this to me?
How could you do this to me?
Love my head.
How could you do this to me? How could you do this to me?
Allah. It was all
Pinkie Pie's eyes
dream.
shot open. Her face was buried in her wet pillow, stained from her tears. She quivered as she very gently tried to lift herself up from the bed. She was afraid of seeing her bed soaked, covered in blood, evidence of a horrific deed she had committed. But her bed was dry, save for her tears. She gently placed a hoof to her face, feeling the still fresh tears on her cheek. She shivered as her hair moved to cover her eyes, still in shock at the sights she had seen. How could I? The vivid images of the nightmare she had just slept through came back in her mind.
And then it was just normal Pinkie Pie.
Horrific cries rang
happy one.
vividly in
Or
her
used to be.
ears, her coat soaked with blood. The feel of slicing open another living being. It felt so real. Pinkie shook her head viciously, trying to remove these thoughts from her head. Why am I having these dreams? She rammed her hooves into her head, trying to stop the images that were assaulting her. For the past 2 weeks, she'd been having restless nights of sleep. She was having nightmares every night. The severity of what they showed were getting worse and worse with
Bro,
each
this
one.
is way before Cold Sign
The
even
first dream
became a
hadn't been
thing.
too scary. She was just attacked by a monster. She had shrugged it off easily, and it wasn't too different from a normal day, really. From there, the monsters changed.
Yeah.
One night, she was attacked by the pony of death who wanted her soul for damnation.
Game.
Another night, it was a faceless slender pony
Game and
whose presence
technically a
quaked
movie.
her very being. Then the next night, she suffered from a disease
It's a game
and
and a
starvation as her body had begun to rot, but was denied death
hell.
from the pain. She could handle those dreams. They weren't real after all.
Those who don't know what the
The
hell
good party
about.
with
Well,
her
you're
friends
about to
made all
find out.
those scary thoughts go away. She tried changing her diet for a day to see if the bad dreams would go away, and it worked for a night. But
Seriously?
only for a night.
We're
The next
on
night,
that one.
she had dreamt of being a monster, one with sharp teeth
God.
and claws. She was the monster, and she had attacked and eaten herself. She still remembered the gagging taste the dream had left in her mouth.
Mark's getting
The
quoted
next dream had
apparently.
her terrorizing ponies throughout Ponyville. She'd wrecked homes, crops, products, and lives.
Even while reading it, I got quoted a few
Then
times.
the next
like,
night,
like
she
I'd be reading a
attacked
line
each
and
of
I'd be
her
like,
friends.
let me guess, what's gonna happen on the
She
next
could feel
line?
the
This is
berserk
gonna
rage
happen.
of
What
the
do you know?
monster
It
as it
ends up
had
happening
slashed
word for word.
and torn them apart indiscriminately.
Because I'm so
But
experienced
at
with
least
horror,
there was
I
a
know
quick death.
how shit goes on a
Her
lot
friends
of
didn't
things.
suffer in that dream. But the dream last night was different. It was personal. She was a monster again last night. But it was
I need my
different.
drink. Where's my
She was
drink?
just herself. No fangs, no claws, no berserk rage. But a monster. In the dream, she had captured her friend. Her dearest friend, Rainbow Dash. She had taken sharp objects, and Pinkie dashed into her bathroom before emptying the
hell was
contents
that
of her
all?
stomach into the toilet, as the vivid images of what she'd done in her dream flashed
did?
before her once more. She felt
Oh, Pinkie
wretched.
Dash. Yeah.
How could her mind even come anywhere
I'm like,
close
oh,
to thinking
I know
of
what you're
such
doing there,
horrible,
author. I
horrific
see what you're
things?
doing there, author.
She loved her friends,
Keep
She
in mind,
loved
I
them
didn't
more
write
than the
this.
sun,
I just
then her sweets,
read it.
then her parties,
I just read
then
it.
life itself.
And trust me, the script was not
Especially
easy
Rainbow
to follow.
Dash. Rainbow Dash was the coolest, most awesome, fun-loving pony she'd ever met. If she wanted to just
This is
hang out
one
and
of
have
those
fun or
fanfictions
pull
that's
some
kinda
pranks or share some
tediously
sweets or help throw a
written.
great party, it was Rainbow
So
Dash
the
who was
grammar's
there
a little
for
bit
her.
of a bitch sometimes.
She wiped her mouth as she quickly looked at herself in the
fucking
mirror.
hell.
Her mane
Freezy,
was
you're
straight.
right. You sound like you're dying.
Her eyes were bloodshot with bags under her eyes.
I don't know what's happening
Her
over
coat
there.
was dull with a sickly look,
I'm
and
so
she was breathing
tired.
quite heavily. She looked terrible. She ran some
Can
cold
Mark hear
water
us,
and
by the way?
repeatedly splashed her face with it.
I don't know.
She really, really, really
somebody's hitting
wanted to
something
go
and it
see
hurts
Rainbow
my
Dash.
ears.
She had to know she was okay. But at the same time, she couldn't do it
Hey, Mark,
until the
Sweeto
memories of
watching
that
you.
dream had faded some more. And she had to get out of Sugar
I
Cube Corner
don't
for the
think
day.
that he can hear us.
She wouldn't be able to hold back any more of her stomach if she even smelled a
Well,
cupcake.
Sweeto's still
Hello.
watching you. So yes, we.
Pinkie tried
Kinda
to stay
funny,
in the
I just got
shadows
done
of
with
the
chapter 5
buildings
today.
as she quietly walked through Ponyville.
Premiering it anyway.
The fresh air and warm sun weren't any comfort today. She didn't
Next
want to
week
look at
it's the
any pony
end.
either, worried their faces would trigger another flash of the awful images in her mind. She had nowhere in mind to go. She just had to wander, had to get away from Sugar Cube Corner, from her room, from anything that would remind her. She looked up and around. She had lost track of how much time had passed since she started her little trek. Thankful no one had stopped to ask her why she was acting so differently today. She knew the other ponies had started to notice dips in her cheeriness. Ever since the dream, she had been throwing more parties than ever before, but more and more, they weren't enough. Twilight had even asked her if something was the matter,
I think I know what
and
part you're
she'd done
talking
her
about.
best to reassure her friend. Wait, Twilight! Twilight was a great magical pony. If any pony could figure out a way to stop these dreams,
We're hearing
she
myself
did.
talking in the same call.
She winced at the idea of having to tell Twilight all about the horrific things her mind had imagined about
Well, I
her
mean,
and
technically
her
fan
friends.
pony.
But maybe
Sorry,
she
T
wouldn't
words.
have
God
to.
damn it.
Twilight might find a solution without having to know what the dreams were of. She picked up her pace, running straight for the library. It didn't take her long.
Oh, I hope no
She
one
figured
heard
her
that.
body must have been taking her here by instinct.
My neck just
It
popped.
did have a funny way of working that way.
Oh.
She ran to the door and knocked a little frantically. It didn't take long for the door to creak open. Oh, hey Pinkie Pie,
Yeah, what is it?
Twilight said, surprised but happy to see her friend. Is this an invitation
That
to a
was not
party
swag at
again?
all. That was like a, I don't know,
Twilight stopped as she blinked,
half-assed attempt at
noticing the distressed look of her friend. Are you alright, Pinkie? You don't look so good. No.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
I'm
You would
not
know this
good,
one
Twilight.
because
Can I
it's the
come
final
in?
one in the
Pinkie
the finale
said,
to a mark.
minding her manners for once.
Don't die on me is what I think what it's called.
Of course, Pinkie. Please,
Here,
make
don't die
yourself
on me.
at home.
Or,
Twilight said
oh,
quickly,
shit. What could
offering
have
her
been?
friend hospitality. Thank you, Pinkie said as she quietly trotted into the house. She
Also
quickly headed
remember,
for the
this is
table
when
in the
Twilight
center
was
of the
not
room
a
and sat
princess.
on one of the red velvet pillows before it. She rested her head on the table,
Oh, for
closing her
fuck's
eyes
sake.
as she took a soft sigh to try and relax, remembering her friend's favorite hot beverage. Can I
Friends
get
that
you
I
something
have
to
at
drink?
bar.
Perhaps some hot chocolate? Twilight said. No sweets, please. If you have some coffee, that'd be great.
Okay.
No cream or sugar. Pinkie softly groaned. No sweets?
She's yakety sax depressed.
Twilight said in shock. Oh my. This really
I'm
is
sorry.
serious.
I'm sorry if anybody
She
here
said,
hates that
as she
episode.
quickly prepared her friend the hot drink she requested. She levitated it before Pinkie, who groggily took it
Do I need to
and
get Sweet
began
Bell
to
in here?
drink.
Oh my god.
She grimaced at the bitter taste.
I know if you they can
Pinkie
do
Sweet Bell.
What's the matter?
Very, very well.
You can tell me. Twilight said, sitting down next to her downcast friend. Twilight could see the signs. Her mane was straight. Her coat was dull. Her eyes bloodshot with bags under them.
Jesus Christ.
And most noticeable of all, she wasn't radiating the energetic aura of Pinkie Pie.
Has that always been there?
Oh, Twilight. It's awful. Pinkie put her
Carrot
hooves
cake,
over her head.
Cassie?
It's
by the
the
way?
most awful thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh, okay.
I can't even believe what's happened to me. It's so awful.
Names.
I can't sleep.
That's
I
just a
can't
nickname.
rest.
If you look at my
Even
actual name, it's
parties
still
aren't
Cassie
helping.
Love.
I need
It's
relief.
just a nickname I have
I need
in
to
here 'cause
stop
Mark
this, but
can't really do-
everything I've
say
tried
my,
only seems to make it
name.
worse. Pinkie said.
So basically, he gave
voice
me
was
the nickname
quivering.
of Carrot Cake.
Twilight
What's
couldn't
so
help
hard to-
but be
why is
surprised
it
at
so
how
hard to say
terrified
Cassie
her
love?
friend sounded.
He can't say
Pinkie,
certain words properly.
Tell me,
My God, him and his poultry
what
dice
exactly
and
is this
poker dice.
awful thing that has happened?
His spooky ghosts.
Twilight tried to reassure Pinkie that everything would be alright.
It's the only can't say, but it's
Pinkie
actually
took a big breath,
the one he can't say is
stealing her
actually a tricky
nerves.
word. Manipulative. That's it.
I've been having nightmares, Twilight. Pinkie finally
If I was
said,
going to change my name, it
Awful,
would be the one
horrible,
I put as my
relentless
Spotify name.
nightmares. I was throwing more parties to forget them, but they kept
My name's
coming.
always been the same.
I tried changing my diet. I tried relaxing before bed.
Oh God, there's a lot.
I
of
even
that's what
tried
she
falling
said
asleep in a
lines here.
handstand with a lemon in my mouth while in the shower.
Especially that one in chapter 4. Oh,
Nothing
my
works.
God.
And last night's
Yeah,
nightmare
don't ask. Do not ask for the
the
context
worst
of that
of
because
all.
I don't even know what the hell that
Nightmares?
supposed to represent.
Twilight said, tapping her chin for a moment. 1 second, she said, as she got up and quickly ran over to a bookshelf. She began to pull out books, checking them out, scanning them one by one.
If I really wanted
No,
to change my
no,
name on Discord,
no.
it would be
No, not
Uru
you.
Senpai.
You're not right either.
Okay.
It took about 10 minutes before Twilight
Something
finally
screenshot
pulled a
that I
book
have of
and
my-
looked at
of
it
my,
satisfied.
Spotify username.
Aha!
It'll be
She
understandable
said,
for you
as she
to
trotted
understand
back
it
to the
then.
table
Use that
and
then.
opened the book,
Like
flipping
my,
through the pages quickly.
my name originates from
Nightmares.
Skull and the nosy character.
Twilight
that I used to
began
have in
after having
Yu-Gi-Oh.
stopped on a specific page. A dream of strong negative emotions,
That would
a
be
common
my name.
occurrence that most
I
ponies will
decided to change
experience.
it.
I
However,
can't really
if the
move
nightmare
right
should
now
persist or
well,
become more
I can't go
terrifying with
anywhere
each
else right now
episode,
because otherwise I'm gonna
it
sound
could
like a
be for
robot if I
several
do that.
reasons. External forces such as medication or diet, which we've
No.
already ruled out.
No.
Twilight added
Because
an
Luna really wasn't
addendum.
established as a character when this was written yet.
External stress from recent physical or
We just
mental
saw that
events,
one
or
little,
caused by a
like,
psychological
snippet
event
of
from
her at
any
the end
time
of,
during the
Friendship is
pony's
Magic.
life that has left a deep impact.
She
There are
didn't
several
become a
ways to
character until
determine what
season
kind
2.
of nightmare is being experienced, and what the best manner of treating them are,
And Luna eclipsed.
Twilight said, before silently reading the next part.
Names.
So, that book can help me stop the
That's what
nightmares?
she said.
Pinkie said, hope rising in her heart. Looks that way. Of course, it can't stop you from having nightmares for the rest of your life, though. They're a normal part of sleep. But it can help you with your constant nightmare issue.
I can hear myself
She said,
playing as
still
Twilight
reading.
over there.
There's a spell in here that'll let me look
I am
into your
Bookhorse.
mind
I
and
am
see the
best
memories of
Bookhorse.
your dreams. That way I can see what you've been dreaming
Twilight's
about
really nasally.
and apply the proper spell
Never
to
realized
try
that,
and
but yeah,
help.
she's very nasally.
The hope that had risen inside of Pinkie fell into her gut like a boulder into a lake.
It's not even funny.
No.
It's almost, it's
No,
kinda like the
Twilight.
same,
Pinkie
thing
said,
that
shaking her
Colt had
head
to do, too.
furiously.
mind delving.
You can't see my dreams. They're... Pinkie covered her face with her hooves.
It's not really a spoiler because it's such an old story.
They're too horrible, Twilight. I don't want any pony to see what I've seen. Her voice was trembling. Tears were threatening to leave her eyes once more. She looked up when she saw Twilight's hoof placed against her shoulder, the look of concern on her face. I can't imagine what kind of dreams you've been having,
Okay.
Pinkie, but I can see the pain on your face. It's affecting who you are, and I can't just let this go. You came to me for help, and I'm going to help you.
True friend.
Please.
I'm so friendly.
You have to let me see what you've seen so that I can help. Twilight pleaded to her friend. Pinkie lowered her head as she held back the tears burning at her eyes with all her might, swallowing hard as she knew her friend wanted to make everything better and might have the power to do so. Twilight? Pinkie muttered in hushed breath, holding back a sob. Yes? What is it, Pinkie? Twilight asked in a similar hushed voice. Please,
Oh God.
you have
Pinkie.
to promise me that what you're about to see
Pinkie.
will
Oh God.
change your opinion of me.
Pinkie light.
Pinkie
Twice.
sniffed
Pie?
deeply.
I don't know.
I swear,
Bye
Pinkie,
bye.
I won't think of you as anything
Yeah,
but the
Pinkie
dear
Light's
friend
kinda
I
hard to
know
say.
and love. Twilight said. Pinkie saw her smile. It was so reassuring, so comforting. Pinkie Pie swear?
Oh,
Pinkie
I know
asked
you're
one
obsessed
last
with
time.
rarity.
Twilight just seemed to smile, a little
Oh, God.
amused.
Stick a
Cross my
cupcake
heart,
in my
hope to fly, stick a cupcake in my eye. Twilight
Instead of
did
a
the
cupcake,
motions
it's a
of the
knife.
Pinkie Pie swear, mimicking
Oh,
sticking the pastry into her face. Pinkie
My
took a
face
moment to
is-
let it sink in, then squeezed her eyes shut
People call me
and
the
lowered her
dark
head
horse.
a little. All right,
And the
I'm
dog
just
torture
in
part.
Trust you.
mind.
Twilight. Pinkie Pie softly
I'm
muttered
very
as
sick
she did
just
her
in
best
mind
to
if I
prepare
use
for
it.
whatever was going to happen next. Twilight nodded softly
what she said.
as she remembered the spell from the book, her horn glowing
Is this
with
old?
light as she concentrated on it. She gently swept hair covering Pinkie's forehead behind her ear to
Sparkle,
hold
sparkle,
it,
sparkle.
then gently tapped the tip of her horn against Pinkie's skull.
Just a sound package that I got from a friend like forever ago.
Leave me alone!
Oh jeez.
The slender pony approached regardless. The static screeched at
Mark,
her
really?
as it drew closer.
Really, Mark?
Pain
Really?
shocked her body from one
Being a
side to
freaking
the other
ant-
as
being a
blood seemed to
demonologist.
splatter and cloud her vision, turning the world red. She fell to her knees trying to grasp
Basically, you've got
reality
Mark who's obsessed
before the
with
pain
basically
and
demons
sound
and
became too
paranormal.
much to bear.
You've got Freezy who's literally obsessed over Twilight.
Well, the
Sparrow-
song.
I don't know
Well,
what you're obsessed with, Sparrow.
There was a hole in her
Well,
body.
the song to sum this
She
story
could
up
feel the
is
worms
literally
wriggling in
demon.
it,
Is
crawling up
Demons
into
by
her torso.
Imagine Dragons.
They were eating her. Eating her.
That's a
alive.
10 out of 10 song.
The pain
It is.
clawed
It's
into her
literally
very
this
soul.
story.
Sparrow,
Sorry.
what are you obsessed with?
Huh?
What are you obsessed with? You got Mark who's obsessed with paranormal, Freezy who's obsessed with Twilight. No,
Twidash.
seriously, if you've seen Freezy's Facebook, it's just literally Twilight.
I'm a Twidash freak. I guess you could
Okay,
say
you're
that.
obsessed with Twidash. And I'm here just
Twidash.
obsessed,
Twidash.
and I'm
But yet death would not come. Her body lied there, unflinching as the insects had their way, feeling every wriggle and slime of their bodies as they slid under her skin. Bones crunched in her teeth as blood dripped down her chin. The fresh taste of gooey flesh slid down her throat. Sharp teeth bored down again into the side of an earth pony's neck as the pony's head fell from her body, giving her a good chunk of flesh to chew. The taste was revolting, but she craved it. She had to have it. She had to have more. Her teeth dug into the pony's skull, crushing the skull as the inner organs began to dribble into her mouth. She had to have more. This one would never be enough. The screams had died down, but that wouldn't last for long.
Why? Why are you doing this?
It was the pained and frantic cry of Rainbow Dash. She could see her tied down to a table, wings already sawn off, sawn off by her own hooves. Oh, Rainbow Dash, every pony dies sometime. Her voice betrayed her as she pulled out a scalpel. It's a simple concept, really. You just have to think. Did my life mean anything? Did I die with a purpose? Will my memory be left when I'm gone? All of these are important questions, you see. She walked towards Rainbow Dash. She could feel the murderous intent grasping at every fiber of her being. But... Rainbow Dash hiccuped through the pain and tears. I won't have died for a good purpose if you kill me. Rainbow sobbed. How could you do this to me? She raised her hoof and petted Rainbow Dash's face. She leaned in close to her. There was an attraction she could never describe as having felt before. Her breath was hot, and her body betrayed her mind. Oh, Rainbow Dash, if you don't know the reason by now, you'll never understand. This is just how things have to be. She stepped back from her prisoner. Rainbow only looked confused, but she would rectify that look. She gripped her scalpel and placed it at the base of Rainbow's hip and sliced down her leg. Pain overtook Rainbow's face and voice as she began her delicate slicing operation. After all, she had to prepare the ingredients to be just right. Twilight stumbled back. Her head kicked back instinctively, wanting to escape from the horrors inside of Pinkie's mind. Twilight crashed into a bookcase, causing a cascade of books to fall onto her. She was breathing heavy, frantic, and panicked. The spell had only taken a few seconds to complete, but the rush of all the dream memories flooded her all at once. Those dreams were horrific and so real. She had felt everything in those dreams, even though dreams should not normally contain such vivid feelings. The monster that attacked her, the feeling of bugs crawling all throughout her skin and organs, the gagging taste of flesh in her throat, the torture, the acts she had committed. She wanted to vomit. Twilight? Came a scared, timid, almost hushed voice. Twilight snapped from her thoughts and looked up at her pink friend. She was trembling with fear as tears streamed down her eyes. That was right. These were the dreams Pinkie was having. The dreams that were terrifying her. The dreams that she had come to her for help with. Pinkie. Twilight finally muttered, swallowing back her own emotions and stomach contents. I had no idea, she said shakily, getting to her hooves and slowly walking back to her friend. She had to be strong right now. Twilight. Pinkie sniffed through her sobs. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you saw them. She closed her eyes, gasping for air through her sobs. Twilight quickly moved next to Pinkie, taking her into an embrace to hold her tight. Pinkie cried desperately into Twilight's shoulder. Twilight held her dear friend, making sure she knew she had all of her support. The images may have made her stomach twist, but her friend was more important than that. It's okay, Pinkie, Twilight said once Pinkie's sobs had started to calm down. I can see how much these dreams have been eating at you. The Pinkie in those dreams is not you. So we just have to figure out why you're having them, Twilight said, letting her friend dearly know that she had in fact kept her promise. The Pinkie in her arms was nothing like the Pinkie that appeared in the dreams. Pinkie slowly nodded her head in agreement before finally being able to stop her tears and let go of Twilight. Twilight turned to her book and flipped a few pages. Since we know it's not your diet, we need to determine if it's because of recent events or if it's something much deeper in your psyche. So, let's start there. When did the dreams start happening? Well, Pinkie rubbed her face, trying to dry it some. The dreams started about a few days after the Grand Galloping Gala, and they've been happening about every night for the last 2 weeks. They didn't happen one night after I did change my diet, but then they just came back the next day. Pinkie said, trying to recall how often she'd have them. Well, the gala was a pretty big incident. You certainly seemed fine at the donut shop, but what about after that? I know you said you had some business to attend to before you headed back to Ponyville, so we didn't see you again till we were heading to the chariot. Twilight wondered. Well, after I'd spent time with you guys, I went and met with my sister Octavia. She was the one playing the cello on stage during the gala. She was the main reason I was able to get away with my music antics while there. I wanted to go thank her for helping me try to liven things up. Pinkie said, recalling the night. She was a little mad at me at first for the mess I'd caused, but she forgave me and we ended up having a very fun chat about what we'd both been up to since we'd left the farm. After a little while, it was time for me to go, so we promised we'd keep better in touch. Twilight pondered this. Do you think it was that meeting with your sister that could have started the dreams? Twilight asked curiously. I wouldn't understand that if she did. We had fun that night. There wasn't anything that she said that was negative. Have you gotten a letter from her yet? I did get one, but it was just letting me know that she was going to be performing a concert in Philadelphia. She said that her band was touring around, so that if I wanted to send her letters, I'd have to address them to her band, since the mail carriers know where they'll be. Pinkie said, tilting her head in thought. Again, there was nothing negative, though. Well, what about the last 2 weeks, then? You seemed mostly fine, other than a few instances where you weren't as chipper. Twilight said, remembering Pinkie Pie was a little less hyper than usual the last few days. She certainly could understand why now, though. No, nothing significant. I've been throwing more parties because of the dreams, but it's just been life as usual in Ponyville. Pinkie said, shaking her head slowly. I see. Twilight went back to consulting her books, scanning the pages of the book, flipping through some more, looking for what would be best to handle this. Here we are. It's another spell. This one is a bit more of a mind delve. Its intention is to find the source of your problems, though. It'll let us find out why you're having these dreams, be it a minor or major reason. Twilight said confidently. So, don't worry, Pinkie. I'm going to make sure you'll be all better in no time. She gave her friend a confident smile. Thank you, Twilight. Pinkie said, giving a soft smile back. Alright. The book says the spell can be a little disorienting at first, but that you'll get used to it. You ready? Twilight asked. Pinkie gave her a nod. Then, here goes nothing, Twilight said, taking a deep breath as she concentrated once more, her horn flaring up with light. She lowered it towards Pinkie's forehead once more and gently touched her. Pinkie's mind did a flip and felt like it fell into a hazy fog. She lost track of her surroundings as it felt like she was falling from a very far height. The world was spinning around her as she felt like wind was rushing past her. Her stomach was rolling inside of her as she was inside of this intense feeling. She wondered just how long she was going to feel this way when she finally felt the world stabilizing with a thud that knocked the wind out of her. She gasped for breath, coughing a bit before feeling the sensation of a ground beneath her. She lifted her head up and shook it lightly, before slowly opening her eyes. She was still in the library, that was for sure. But Twilight was missing. Why would she leave her alone in the library? Twilight? She called out, but the only thing that came back was a hollow echo. This was bizarre. The library seemed eerily quiet, even more so than usual when Twilight wasn't around. She looked onto the table, noticing two things on it, a bag and a note. She carefully read the words on the note. You must cross the darkness to see the light. Pinkie looked at the piece of paper a little confused. Did Twilight write this? If she did, what did it mean? Was she supposed to take this bag with her? Twilight must know what she's doing after all. She wouldn't just abandon her here without a good reason. Pinkie opened the bag, looking to see if there was anything inside of it. There were two things inside. The first one was obvious what it was. It was a lantern. Inside was oil with a wick. There was a knob on the side. She assumed it would turn the lantern on. If she was going to use it, she'd have to make sure to not use up all the oil. She gently placed the lantern back into the bag. What's this? She asked as she pulled out a rectangular device. It had a dial on it and an antenna, but it wasn't an object she was familiar with. It had a face like a picture on it, with a circle on it that had holes. In her mind, it kind of looked like a miniature phonograph. But how would this tiny thing play music? In her hoof, it began to spring to life, playing a soft static sound. Pinkie dropped it, surprised by the sudden sound. She stared at it as it buzzed. The sound seemed like a bunch of bees being played through a DJ table. She poked the device with her hoof. After a few moments, the buzzing stopped. Pinkie looked confused, but had the gut instinct that it must be something important. She placed it back in the bag. I guess Twilight believed I needed this bag. I'll keep to her advice then. Pinkie muttered to herself as she carefully strapped the bag to her back. She then looked around. The library seemed to hold no more clues for the moment, so she decided to step outside. She felt more comfortable now that she had visited Twilight, so maybe she should go visit Rainbow Dash now. Huh? Pinkie said, stopping short of a few feet out the door. A thick fog had fallen all around Ponyville. It was so thick, she couldn't even see the buildings next to the library. She'd have to get close to a building if she wanted to see one. Then she started to shiver as a wind blew by. The temperature had fallen a significant amount. What's going on? I've never seen this kind of weather in Ponyville before. Pinkie said, confused. Did Rainbow Dash do this? Why would she? Pinkie knew she had to find Rainbow and talk to her now. She quickly began to run off in the direction she knew Rainbow's house to be. She was in full gallop when she suddenly realized she had come to a full stop. She skidded along the ground and stopped along an edge, a few pebbles getting kicked loose and falling in front of her. There was a gigantic chasm that had never been in Ponyville right before her. It cut right down the road to Rainbow's house. In fact, it cut off the entire way outside of Ponyville if you didn't have wings. What's going on? She asked as she stared into what seemed to be a bottomless pit.
Done and done. I changed my name.
Okay.
Not my nickname, but my actual Discord name.
I say
That's my
carrot cake too.
That's my nickname on the server. But if you go to like DMs and everything else, it should be different.
Ubu, senpai, hearts, squiggly lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, how are those sound effects to your ears, Mark?
I don't know how long you can actually have. Oh, you can have your username fucking long apparently. You know what? Fuck.
I
24/7.
did not expect to snort, but okay. One for the outtakes. Two takes. That's what she said. Hey, my briar. Goodbye, my briar. That's what she said. As references to cupcakes, butterflies, and I think rocket to insanity. Yeah, that one where it feels like the insects are trying to I'm like, yeah, that's butterflies for you. That was the one that made me throw up on freaking recording. Ugh.
Make it even more boring.
It'll all be over soon. As soon as I finish cutting your your windpipe, and leave the rest of you just like skinned off. Well, that's how it goes in the actual story.
Just the ducks is
Oh, I'm
the
robot.
gates are open. Hi, Kyoko. What are you doing here, precious girl?
What is it with people and their pets?
I own 3 cats out of the 5 we have in the house. We used to have 6 or 9 of them. Actually, no, we
Why
used to have 9 of them.
Why is it specifically cats with freaking My Little Pony people? I swear.
They're easy to look after. I used to own 2 dogs. But my mum
Lost,
gave me-
Mag, freaking Wooten, Mark. You.
Mark has Prince. I have we have 5 cats in the house, and my mum owns 2. I own 3. I got Ginger, Oreo, and Kyoko.
I've got chickens. I've got a and I've got a dog.
Actually, no, and I have a rabbit, and I have pet fish.
Awesome.
I used to have hamsters, but my brother stole them. So now basically I'm gonna have to get myself a pet something.
Oh, what a ham. Mark's over there probably going, guys, shut up.
Fun
I'm a
fact,
briar. I'm a briar.
once upon a time I used to own 10 pets. No, myself actual 10
Nani?
pets on myself.
It sounds like
Myself
Scooby.
12 and
This is
also-
like a Japanese Scooby Doo.
Oh my god, I love Tamagotchis. They're cute. I wish my cat could be a Tamagotchi. Yeah. But I'll just throw you out at the end of the day.
And I sound like a freaking Japanese Scooby Doo when I said Nani?
Nanny?
Raggy?
Nunny.
Ruby Ruby. Oh god, no, not this again. Sweeto,
Just watch the whole,
you want to get in on this shit?
watch the whole Scooby Doo series. Mhm.
God.
Does anyone here watch anime?
That's what she said. I just silenced the entire chat. Sorry, my mind's constantly in the gutter.
Who actually here watches anime except for me?
I've watched some, but not a lot.
I like Danganronpa, best anime for me.
Mm,
I actually grew up with anime because I started watching it at the age of 4. Learned English.
Mark's deafening himself.
Once I could understand English and everything else, and I could speak it properly, I started watching anime on my TV. Watching anime. What?
I'm trying to be quiet, but
Hello and welcome to my new store. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to my new store, Mark Hyder Pony Store. Oh, yes, here you can buy some merchandising from me. Oh, yes, for example. So, I'm cute. This is a Gallop t-shirt. Oh, yes. And there's this a Gallop t-shirt. It's available in small, medium, large, extra large, 2 extra large, 3 extra large, 4 extra large, and 5 extra large. Oh, yes. Have Gallop on your chest. Made from 100% cotton, and these are all the specs. Do you want a Gallop iPhone case? Here you can get it. Right from my store. This is a Gallop iPhone case. I believe that is for 6 I believe, or 5, not 5, 6, I think. Or perhaps you want is a Gallop mug. Here we got a new design of Gallop Crush as a sea pony. For the full list from the store, click in the video description. Oh, yes.
Okay, everybody, hope you like this video. I'm going to end the live stream now. If you want to become a member of the channel, which there's 3 tiers. The old common is basically you get to see my reactions early. There's more perks for the yes, which you will get more perks. There is a join button that gives you more information about what perks are available for being a member. And this is new to my channel, so if you want to support the channel in any way you can, you're free to do so. But other than that,